everybody. Today I'm here to talk to you about sewing comfort, which then equates to sewing better. How many of you are set up like this? You're in your dining room, the dog is around, there's stuff all over the place, the kids' things are here. You have your sewing machine up on the table while you navigate all these things. Your machine is up so high that your arms are up, so you're uncomfortable. The back of your neck hurts, your back hurts, everything just hurts. Your arms. This is not some sort of obstacle course. I don't know, what are those crazy things that they do on TV?
The Ninja Warriors.
Those things where you have to navigate through all kinds of things. Sewing is not about that. Sewing is supposed to be fun and relaxing. So today I want to look at what we can do to make our sewing space, even if it's just a tiny sewing space, so much better and a relaxing place for you to go.
Yeah, show me how your arms normally are when you're sitting. Yeah, when you're sitting up that high, you really are up so much higher.
It's uncomfortable. And people often will say to me, "Oh, I'm trying to free motion." There is nothing about being free when your arms are up like this. Well, everything is a gauge across the back of your neck.
Also, your project is like kind of falling down, yeah?
Oh, my project is down. It's in my calendar book. It's just a disaster here. Don't sew like this. It is not fun. You do not get an award for how awful it is to have your sewing machine in a place that's this bad. So let's just see what we can do to make it so it's so much better for you to sew. You will find I am going to just drag my sewing machine over to this little table that I have here in the classroom.
Okay.
We do this frequently in here. You will see that I have the legs cut off of this table. So now instead of reaching up,
Oh, so this table is a lot shorter.
I actually am down so much lower, and already you can just see me like, oh.
But we're not trying to tell people to go home and like chop off the legs of the table.
Why not? Hey, if it makes your sewing life better, you know, no one's happy if mama's not happy. So that's what I think. So I've done that. I've chopped off a dining room table. I cut the legs off about this much, wooden legs. It was the best sewing table ever. It was massive. I loved it. I'm not saying that you have to do that. So anyway, so this is down. I'm so much more relaxed now, but look this is still hard for me to sew. I'm trying to get this to go through my machine. It's gonna get stuck here between the table and my tummy, especially after I have Thanksgiving dinner. And then it's constantly, I have to stop and straighten things out so that I can sew straight. So that something better to have is we can take our accessory tray off, and if Jessica just reaches behind her, there, oh, never mind, I'll get it. I'm right back, here I am. I'm going to get a Sew Steady table. Now this Sew Steady table is not exactly the size for this machine, but you'll get the idea. What happens is
you get the tables custom cut, right?
You have them custom cut, and this one wasn't custom cut for this machine, but you get the idea. Look at how now everything is laying out.
Oh, so now our quilt is supported.
And flat. It's supported all around. I don't have it like hanging and getting stuck here on the side, so that if you just have a little tiny table and it's cut down to be really low, a Sew Steady table, which comes in a bunch of different sizes, and like we said, is cut out for your sewing machine, makes it so that you have a level place to sew. And my arms are still down and resting.
You look a lot more comfortable.
I am. But I'm gonna show you how I can be more comfortable.
So you're gonna show us another option.
I am.
Cool, let's go see it. Now we're gonna see the most optimal way to set up your sewing space, even if it's small, right?
Yep. So even in a small, even if you only have a little bit of space,
like the space behind you,
that's like behind me, that's dedicated to sew. It's been shown over and over and over again that people sew more frequently because you don't have to keep getting things out and putting things away. I know that for a fact. When I was growing up, my mom had this little closet in our family room that my dad converted to a sewing space for her. He put shelves in, he put a piece of plywood across, her machine was down in. She sewed all the time because she was right there with us. It was right next to our kitchen. When we finally moved to another house and she had a nice room for a sewing studio, she hardly ever sewed because it wasn't by the rest of the family. Maybe you want to get away from your family and you want to have a dedicated room, whatever. But we want you to know that you can have a dedicated space that is very comfortable to use without buying a big cabinet. So that we have this little cabinet here, or a little table. It folds up so that you can store it away if you want. It really is very sturdy. What I found with other sewing tables that I've sewn in the past is, like, if you do this and start to sew quickly, the whole thing starts to go like that, and I don't know, I don't think that's really very good. So that this takes up just a little bit of space, but it has a platform in it that I can put down so that my machine, this one obviously is not for, the plexiglass piece is not designed for this machine, but I want you to get the idea of the size, how much sewing space that you have, and how nice it is then to be able to take your fabric and not have to worry about having your arms up or having things drape over the side.
Or without having to chop off some table legs.
Chop off some table legs, exactly. And so this is a perfect height.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
What is so relaxing about this is that I can put my arms down and relax. For any of you who are having difficulty with free motioning, that is probably the major thing that I find why people cannot free motion, is because they're not relaxed. Their arms are up too high. And as soon as we can get you down and get things all flat, and so that nothing is dragging on over an edge of something, it's so much easier to sew straight and for longer periods of time because your back is not killing you.
I love that.
So that
I love this little table.
So this little table, we actually have them in stock right now so that they're relatively inexpensive as tables go when you consider that you can put your machine down in so that everything is level. And so come on into the shop and get one.
Pick one up. All right. Awesome. I love this. It really this setup reminds me of the vintage sewing machines, right?
If you look at our vintage sewing machines, you'll see that we always are like, how did those women sew?
Yeah, like the sewing machines have always been down into a table, and when we got into being able to take our sewing machine like everywhere with us, right? Then we needed that portability, and so we obviously didn't have the table, but this is really a similar sort of design. I love it. You look really comfortable.
It is really comfortable. I like this nice little table, and it's one that you can just set at the end of a room and just have it there so you can sew whenever the mood strikes you.
Awesome. So we have limited stock of these, right?
We do.
Okay, so people should, if they're interested, they should come in.
Yeah, or give us a call on the phone and we'll reserve one for them so that when they do get a chance to come in, it's here for them.
Awesome.
Thanks. Happy sewing.
Yeah, like you're so relaxed. I want one of those. You know, my table right now is like this one where my whole machine is like sitting up And I recognize that I can't sew as long because my shoulders get so tired. And then I think, like, what did I do? Like, why are my shoulders tired? And I'm like, oh, you're sewing in this unnatural position. So having your machine down in the cabinet is super helpful. Oh, that's really easy to do.
Yeah, there's a
It just like cranks in and out. How do it one more time?
There's a chain in underneath that you adjust for your sewing machine height.
Oh.
So that it.
Can you lower it one more time?
Sure. There's a little handle in underneath here,
Yeah.
and so that you're just gonna push that down.
Oh, and then your
And it
machine
just-
sits there.
It just lowers there. And to adjust this, you know, your more expensive cabinets would have this fancy hydraulic lift. This just has a chain that you adjust so that you take some links out if you need it to set up a little bit higher or lower.
And
And
that would
so-
depend on how like deep your machine is.
So that you can adjust it so it fits your machine. And then you would have the cutout that would be cut out for this, and it would fill in this whole portion.
And the cutout is specific to whatever machine you
The
have.
machine and to the cabinet.
And to the cabinet. That's awesome. So you don't even have to technically use a newer model machine. You could have an older one and the
Oh, you
plexiglass
can-
would be cut
yep,
for it.
You can get them for any machine.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
amazing. Oh, I love that. Awesome.